Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. Finally, a game probably worth looking at. It's been very, very boring Kickstarter and Gamefound in the last 2 weeks. Nothing really tickling my excitement. Anyway, this is Kickstarter 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. I'm a lover of all crowdfunding incredible games, that is. Not all of them, of course. I'm a bit of a snob, if you didn't know. Now, I recently played God of War during Easter holidays. I played God of War Ragnarok on the PC, and while I enjoyed it, I was pretty, didn't really think of it that much. I'd give it maybe 6 out of 10 for me. It wasn't that breathtaking, and all that stuff. But, so let's have a look at this then. It's from CMON. It says it's 1 to 2 players. As one would expect, one plays the child, but in the video game the child doesn't really do that much, so it's a weaker one. This would have been a nice design if you could play this father and son, wouldn't it, as a kind of a parenting thing. It has that kind of interest here. Now it says it's got epic fights and puzzles. Were there puzzles in the game? Not really. Unique combat leveling system. If it's got a leveling system, it would have been nice to see upgrades to what they have. Because, for example, the armor does change in the game. Certainly the boy's bow does. That would have been nice to have that technology with magnetic locking weapons and armor maybe, but hey, this is CMON. They hardly innovate. They hardly look at the board gaming Kickstarter goodness of trending or incredible innovations that are out there. So the magnetic changing of weapons for an upgrade, that would be beyond CMON's the person in charge of the of the production, because heck, this has got to come to retail, hasn't it? So we've got to keep our costs down. It's true. What's this free gift? Special bonus cards. 8 new cards. Right, okay. These bonus cards wield a potent form of magic employed by desperate humans in the wake of desolation, resorted to the dark arts for... Is there any humans in the game? I can't remember. I don't think so. By the way, this whole lore, I've only played Ragnarok. There's like 7 games in total. And really, it's Kratos, you're a kind of a living god and all this stuff. But considering there's all these gods, it has 0 religion or anything like that. It's kind of a silly... For me, it's a pasted on theme, actually. The theme doesn't carry whatsoever in the video game for me. It really doesn't. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's games with better story and thematicness and all that stuff. But anyway, you've got these tiles. They're only using 9 tiles, I believe. So that's not that great of the adventure, is it? I mean, it's probably enough. It's probably enough terrain just to be around your house, and not. There's only a section of the game that's in snow, so I'm surprised that they did this in snow. I'm wondering if there is going to be another expansion where he goes up at the mountain or he goes to the lake area or whatever. We shall see. Anyway, I can't really get a good look at the boards here and that stuff. But anyway, multi-language, as you can expect. CMON do have this good, they're really good with localizations. So yeah, Kratos, great character. Flat bases on the minis, that's a economy thing, isn't it? I think they've got the look of the boy and the father very well. These are, of course, renders, aren't they? The art is a little bit basic for me. They could have had some dynamic art on these, put these giant numbers up at the top, smaller made this discard to move, just pull it down a bit, have some key art from the IP. The amount of screenshots you could get from playing the game is insane because it does look so good. It's graphically a masterpiece. So how they've designed this is, you know, it's like unbelievable. They're using the IP, but they're not using any screenshots or anything that they could put on this stuff. It just kills me that to see that they've lacking in this. This purple dye fits nowhere in the theme. It's totally heterosexual 1980s muscle-bound dad in your face. This almost is a woke dye in the heterosexual sphere that this game sits in. Where the hell has that come from? I don't know. Anyway, moving down. Interesting design here of Freya. She's really is a good render of her from the game. I really do like this character. Now it says at the beginning of each game, players select one quest out of 8. So it has a kind of open world feeling. It have monsters and a final boss to confront. Each will introduce a puzzle, distinct objective, such as ensuring the security of protection of something, dodging from this vengeful Freya because you have killed her son in the recent video game and she is pissed. So yeah, she wants vengeance, presumably, because I'm presuming this is actually after the Ragnarok. Monsters and bosses each have their own patterns and behaviours, which is good to know, allowing players to blend these elements together to create unique, memorable sessions. We hope so. By the way, there's no video. They've not sent this to any YouTubers, which is so strange that you can't do research to see how it plays. Certainly not yet. There's 14 days on the campaign. Will we see one? Probably will. Definitely worth waiting to see that. Now, they've got these monster cards here. Nell Walker. Can't remember him being in the game. Revenant. Yeah, they're a pain in the arse, aren't they? Ogre. Can't remember. They're probably that easy to just fire through that I just can't remember these. Revenant definitely. In fact, the Nell Walkers, they appear sometimes when you're defending when you're trying to release the dragon. That's where they come from, and they're really easy to kill. Anyway, you can see that the die you throw though will reference the AI, so there's a randomization to what the ogre is doing. We've got a little bit of a scenario 1 here, which is on a card as well. So you potentially there's going to be different effects in different scenarios. They've got like this etched in sign here from the die on the back of this card, and that's nothing related to the video game. These kind of words or anything. It's like I said, the theme in the game is almost slapped on. It really is. So this big guy coming at you, can't remember him from the game. He doesn't give me anything. I played this game like 2 weeks ago. Can't remember anything like that. Yeah, these big stone guys. Yes. Core box has been discounted. It's a discounted price. They say it's SRP. What's that? Standard retail price of 90. Okay. That has no stretch goals. But if you want stretch goals, you're paying 90. But you save yourself 145. It says. Oh my goodness. There's a 3 to 4 player expansion with these two brother blacksmiths. They do not join you in combat anytime. So how are they playing and fighting with you? That's weird. Stretch goals, they're doing daily unlocks, so we'll have to wait and see for them. And if there's some like chunky, really nice ones come out, or there's another expansion box, then I might come back and do a final thought. But as it is, it's pretty much threadbare, I must admit. Every day around noon will unlock for the Demigod reward new exclusive monsters or bosses. Yeah, because we're not really seeing bosses. The only boss we're getting at the minute is the guy with the big pillar here, who I do recognise from fighting. If there's one thing I would love to see as a boss, it would be a Valkyrie, because that's the standout fights in the game are the Valkyries, because everything else can be easily defeated apart from the boss guy, who's Freya's son, who's probably one of my favourite boss characters in any video game. I love the character and the acting behind that character, but that's my only standout from the whole game for me. Alright, so choose your scenario. That will randomise up. You'll get monsters tied to that scenario, and you get a boss. So that's fairly interesting. The Tassel Worm. They must have pulled that from a different video game. I can't remember that. The Nightmare Eye thingy. Can't remember that. Raider Warrior, maybe. Dowdy Camper. Is that his name? Never heard his name before. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So a lot of this stuff for me isn't ringing the bell of nostalgia of the game that I played recently, so maybe it's itching the lore throughout the 7 video games. I don't know. It's definitely after the most recent game, Ragnarok, right? Because in Ragnarok you put these 2 blacksmith brothers, you bring them both together. They are basically apart from each other. They hate each other, and the boy helps them to come together in the storyline. So you definitely are kind of in the new lore, so you're bridging what happens next, which is interesting. So yeah, these cards, they're just really lazy. I mean, look at this card here from the starting deck. Furious Blow. Are you kidding me? You've got like incredible visionary art, screenshots that you could pull from the video game, and you're just having a little flame. Are you kidding me? That's super, super lazy. The amount of art you could get for this, it just does the IP no justice. It's disgusting. So lazy. It's got that it'll do attitude. Just whiz it together in Photoshop. Have no hero image whatsoever. Ugh, it's so sickening. It really is. The pink dye. Why couldn't you have just made it dark purple? Anyway, whenever enemies are defeated by the actions of Kratos and Atreus, the heroes get to roll the synergy die, which awards bonuses and advances the synergy track. Win together. 2 minis, 2 hero boards, 30 attack cards, that's going to be 15 each, 47 bonus cards, damage tokens, skill upgrades, tracker cubes. Diddle, 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 diddle. 30 miniatures of monsters, 9 reference cards, 18 behavior cards. So if they've got 9 reference cards, that means 9 miniatures. Let's look at them. Nightmares, can't remember these from the game. Revenants, yes, pain in the arse. Wolvers, I vaguely remember them. They're not that popular in the game. They're quite rare, actually, if I remember. Wolves are kind of rare. You don't, because it's such an easy enemy, you don't really see many of them. Tasselworm, never saw that, or did I? This art's not reminding me of them. Maybe. The Hellwalkers, these are just so easy. You just throw your sphere at them, right? There's such a piece of poo. Or your axe, you throw your axe at them. Because your axe is like, Thor's hammer, isn't it? It basically flies away and comes back to you. Raider Warriors, you just burn through these. These are all simple enemies that you would. Raider Scout, don't recognise that at all. So yeah, really we're looking at stuff I don't really remember. Bosses, an Ice Ancient. This is what I mean, the game's not very memorable for the enemies, I've got to say. This guy, yes, the Dowdy Compounder. Definitely, these are memorable. Ogres, yes, they're just pretty easy to kill, ogres. You know, at one point you're fighting like 3 of these. That's how easy they are. It's not like it's one boss. You can get on top of them and usually ride them around and kind of stomp on all the other enemies. And I don't think they're going to have any kind of interesting boss mechanics like that. Raider Chief is a boss. Can't remember like a human boss like this in the game. So it's pushing. For me, maybe it is introducing new characters. I mean, it is after Revenant. It shouldn't be calling back to Revenant, which is the recent God of War. So, happy that. Don't really. It is what it is. Alrighty. The Grieving Mother. So this is the new lore of the game. She's coming at you. This is probably the most interesting scenario is where you got to fight the Grieving Mother. It really is, because you don't get the chance to have this fight in the game. So this is kind of one that fans would really be on fire for. She's had many titles, including the Valkyrie Queen. Yes. She married Odin. Odin got rid of her. I think her lore's kind of the only interesting lore that I pulled from the game, to be honest. Tiles. You've got these like small square tiles, which are kind of, what the heck is that? Weird kind of art. Got like a bokeh depth of field there. I don't know what that is. And you got this kind of red outline for terrain, basically. You've got Kratos' cabin there, which I don't think it's accurate of the game. There's no 2 doors like that. What's going on? So that's how they've not managed to accurately do Kratos' cabin is a bit weird, because there should be the what's it called? Trap door in the center, and there's definitely not 2 doors. What's going on? So some oddities here, not using key art, sloppy cards for me, a strange pink die. Ruins, not even from the game for me. What are they about? Scenarios, we need to know what that is about. We need to see some gameplay videos, that's what we need to do. The rulebook's not going to cut it. How do the 3 and 4 players work? That's going to be interesting. What kind of powers do they have? Because you don't see them combat in the game. What's going on here? The Draugr have been unlocked. You rinse through a lot of these in the game. They're just cannon fodder. An Olympus Archer. Yeah, just more rinsing stuff. No bosses as of yet, but I'm assuming they've shown us 3 bosses. Is it 8 scenarios? So there's 5 more bosses to come out of here. And maybe there's going to be an expansion for different areas, because you're not just in the ice. God of War IP video game that should be head to foot with IP is lacking. I should be bubbling with excitement, maybe. I mean, the game didn't really flatter itself. amazing graphical, like, tour de force, and they've wasted using any art from it. Boo. The combat cards don't even have any hero images. Boo. So, you know, it's a miss for me. That they're just not hitting where they should be. It's a bit of a waste of IP for me. And for me, it's not a love letter to the IP. It really isn't. It could have done a lot more. And you know, I always think, if I'm CEO of the IP, I'm talking to the video game people, and I'm saying, can I take screenshots from the game and put that art on the cards? Thank you very much. Wonderful. Or at least take the screenshots of these moves from the game and then get my artist to do it. Why can't I do that? I don't know. It's just that CMON have this. It's like they have this super low budget. They're not willing to do stuff. They want to keep within budget, and they want to ramp this out onto retail. That's how they play it. They don't want to invest in art. They don't seem to want to invest in innovative materials like mechanical switching of armor and weapons. They don't seem to be itching what someone who's played this game would want to see, which is Valkyrie bosses. Maybe we'll get that in the unlocks. Valkyrie would be more interesting, but it would be equal to Freya in interesting combat, I will say that much. The rest of what I've seen here is pretty cannon fodder from the video game, so nothing innovative. There's nothing new here other than you know, new cannon fodder that I don't recognize, but it's probably in the game anyway. But let's see what they do with the bosses. Maybe I will like them. Maybe they'll show a playthrough and I can get some deeper understanding of it. But open worldy 8 scenarios, that's kind of loosely based on, I guess, where they are in the story, going back to the house after the first game. After the recent game, and who knows what's going to happen then. So it's almost like an interesting episodic thingy that you can do in between this and the next video game, whenever, if it's going to come out from Santa Monica Studios. We don't know what they're going to do. Probably are going to do another God of War. So there we go. I think it needs another box. Maybe it's the Valkyrie box. More regions? ? And I don't know. It's not really doing anything exciting me other than the Freya boss, and that's certainly not enough to pledge. And that's sad, isn't it? I mean, the IP should be bubbling with excitement, and you're not doing it. I mean, if you look at EVE Online, EVE War for New Eden, they got an incredible artist to do all the art from the ships in the game and do art for all the technology cards from the game. And here, there's no one doing art from the game other than one hero image per enemy type. That is so crazy to me. Because if there's any examples how to do an IP, CMON are doing the opposite for me. They really are. You know, and it's sad that they've been able to license this game. It really is. It really is sad. But, you know, I think on that bombshell, tell me your thoughts down below, peeps. Remember, my thoughts are just one guy in the studio, a snob at best, you know, because I'm a snob and I'd like to see things that are better, and I think it should have more art, definitely. Should have a video, right? Should have some playthrough videos from any YouTubers, even if it's official, just to see what it's like, but we haven't got that. So, I mean, it's asking a lot. This is a CMON game that's only got 200,000. So, yeah, I mean, it's not doing too much. You'd think with this great IP, it would be over 1 million, but it's nowhere near that yet. So it's got a lot to do, and it's just a 2-week campaign. So it's like a mini ninja campaign, and hopefully there's going to be lots of updates throughout the 2 weeks. So I'll keep my eye on it, of course. Come back with final thoughts if there's more impressive stuff. If there's a Valkyrie comes out, I'll definitely be talking about that on my final thoughts. I want to discuss to see what the value proposition is like, and if I see a playthrough, it might get me more excited. We shall see. So I'll be watching it. It's got me on the fence, I'll say that much, but it could have been better on the first day of the campaign. So much to do, and the 3 to 4 player thingy is a little bit question marky what the hell that is doing, because it's a set of blacksmithers. Couldn't you just have that as a crafting campaign that gives you weapon, better armor, etc.? But no. Anyway, please leave your comments down below. Do you know the IP? What do you think of the IP coverage here in this game? Is it okay for you, or it's not too bad for you? Please let me know your thoughts down below. Please give the video a like if you got this far. Think about subscribing if you're interested in Kickstarter board games. There's really been nothing for 2 weeks, so that's the way I roll. Something really has to be interesting to show you it on this channel. So if you subscribe and there's nothing coming on the channel, it's because there's nothing of interest. Or maybe there is something of interest. Let me know if you backed anything in the last 2 weeks, because for me it's been pretty stale, and I've been okay with that because it's just been an incredible first 3 months of the year, and we're starting to see some interesting ones coming now. But yeah, I've had a 2 week off almost for good stuff. Retail-itis has been flying around for the last 2 weeks, and we'll just have to see what's coming. I think this is the only interesting title this week. So yeah, is that it? One video this week. I might do a late night chat at the weekend, talking about stuff. We'll see. Keep your eye out for that. Get subscribed if you want to find out about those, and check my channel out for my special programs. I do loads of late night chats talking about the industry of kickstarting board games, so, and all that good stuff. Anyway, I'm gibbering here, aren't I? Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy, back after 2 weeks of nothing and all that good stuff. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.